NBA Jam is one of those iconic games that everyone knows, and even if you don't know it, some things from it have seeped their way into pop culture, like the concept of someone being on fire, figuratively speaking, of course. Now, when it comes to NBA Jam, people only know the first one, or at best, the first one and Tournament Edition. But there were many more NBA Jam games after the original that nobody talks about or even seems to know. But before we get into them, there's something a little confusing we have to go over. Most of you know Midway games, right? Sports arcade games where punching someone during a game is as legal as assault and battery. Wait, that's not legal? Well, yeah, that's the point. Bitch! These games were fun and NBA Jam was one of them. Or rather, NBA Jam the arcade game was one of them. The home console port was done by a company who produces bad games at a rate that rivals the Earth's production of water and grass. That would be Acclaim. These guys suck mega ass, and I'm sure there's some loser online that made a video about them already. The console version of NBA Jam was good though, but it's hard to mess up because you're taking an already successful game and just slapping your logo on the box. Now we have to acknowledge that the IP ownership is very finicky because Midway nor Acclaim owned the NBA Jam name. It was the NBA themselves, who would grant the IP over to Acclaim because the guy in charge of NBA's licensing was a former Acclaim employee. So to put it simply, Midway no longer owned the series that they created, and the guys who just ported Midway's creation over do now. Midway moved on. They continued to create NBA Jam, but just didn't call it NBA Jam. NBA Hang Time, NBA Hoops, NBA Showtime. These are all practically NBA Jam, but at the same time, the actual NBA Jam had games coming out from Acclaim as well. 2 NBA Jam games going on at the exact same time, and we'll be looking at the Acclaim ones. I'm pretty sure most of the budget went into that intro, and it's fitting that the logo looks like it's breaking out of hell because that's exactly where this game belongs. NBA Jam Extreme is just a poorly put together video game. I know that PS1 games aren't exactly the prettiest looking games out there, but there's no reason that players should look like a fusion between Slender Man and the Missing Link. The scale is also pretty weird. The players are giants. Everyone that's not on the court looks tiny in comparison, and the ball looks like an orange, not a basketball. Why is it so small? As far as the gameplay goes, it just comes across as a poor man's NBA Jam, especially when you compare it to NBA Hang Time by Midway, which came out the same year. The only difference here is that this game has this extreme mode, which is just a slightly better version of Turbo. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here. There's nothing here, and to top it off, after each quarter you have to sit through a crazy amount of loading just to get back into the game. Look, I'll time it.
No good.
Practically a minute of waiting. I'd rather get commercials in real life. Though a special shout out to the song that the crowd chants. This song is probably the most enjoyable part of the game.
Ain't no ball like a basketball, cause a basketball's got that bounce. Ain't no ball like a basketball, cause a basketball's got that bounce. Ain't no ball like a basketball, cause a basketball's got that bounce. Ain't no ball like a basketball, cause a basketball's got that bounce.
After NBA Jam Extreme, Acclaim went into a whole new direction with the series. They started naming the games after the year and went more simulation, which makes zero sense to me. NBA Jam 99. You know the game's gonna suck when the only player you can scrape up to be on the cover is zero-time All-Star Keith Van Horn. So this isn't really like NBA Jam at all. This has fouls, full 5-on-5, and an overall lack of anything really exciting happening. At least with NBA Jam Extreme, you can see the occasional crazy dunk and sing along to that basketball song. This has an air horn during free throws.
And it counts.
And the fact that free throws are even a thing is just crazy. The standout in the gameplay is not even anything in the gameplay, it's the announcer. Believe it or not, Kevin Harlan is the announcer here, which blows my mind as he's one of the mainstay NBA announcers today and is even in NBA 2K. What on earth is he doing here? It's like finding out your favorite school teacher was a prostitute beforehand.
The Angry Whopper!
But Harlan is insane in this game. You know that one clip of him in NBA 2K going apeshit over Wembanyama?
And the rejection by Wembanyama!
Yeah, imagine that, but it happens every 20 seconds.
What a stupid foul! He's playing tennis! With no regard for human life! Mother, cover your children's eyes! He's like a missile! He's on fire! He's gone mad! He's got mad cow disease!
Now there is a jam mode in this game. It's supposed to be like actual NBA Jam gameplay. But what if I told you that you were looking at it right now? Yeah, the only difference I could see with jam mode is pushes won't be called as a foul. That's really it. Now I do have to give this game props on one thing. The franchise mode is pretty good, at least for the time. I was just expecting a singular season and not much else, but you can trade, sign free agents, and even bid for free agents. Like, bro left my team to play in Europe?
Yeah, I want to have tea and crumpets. Yeah, I want to fucking have tea and crumpets. Yeah, tea and fucking crumpets.
And there's even a rookie draft class here, along with the NBA draft. NBA Jam 99 overall is very whatever. It's not the worst type of game you can play, but I think you guys can see why these games are never brought up in any type of discourse. To take away the arcade aspect of NBA Jam is so dumb. It's like when WWE brought back ECW, but it had like disqualifications and shit. It's just a hollow shell of something that had the name and nothing else. Take everything I said and also apply it to next year's release, NBA Jam 2000. This is the same sort of thing as 99. The only real difference is the jam mode. They made it 2-on-2, opened up the flashy dunks a bit more, and sped everything up. It's okay, I mean, it's nothing special. I'd rather play this than a regular mode any day, even though it's still not good. An NBA Jam from Acclaim would be put on the shelf for a while. On home consoles anyway, the Game Boy would be treated to NBA Jam 2001, a game where everyone looks like fucking Mr. Game & Watch. I don't really have anything to say because a lot of this is self-explanatory and rather simple. You want to know how you're playing a bad NBA Jam game? There are backcourt violations. You want to know how you're playing a bad basketball game? After said backcourt violation, there's free throw shots.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's a poorly executed game of basketball, and so is the follow-up year NBA Jam 2002 on the Game Boy Advance. This is probably the worst game you could play, and I'm not just joking or exaggerating. Dunks don't actually dunk, they just kind of stop, and man, this just really sucks. At least the other games functioned. And of course, who could forget the announcer that only says nicely received every 5 seconds, even if it doesn't make sense.
Bounce pass, nicely received. Whoa, he's going all the way. Nicely received. Short pass, nicely received. Nicely received. And the ball is taken. Nicely received. Is he swinging on the basket?
I don't know how Acclaim can let this happen to such a prestigious franchise. They buried it and reduced it to a handheld game that doesn't even work. Acclaim would sort of give a reboot to NBA Jam in 2003. They just titled it NBA Jam. No subtitle or year in the title. Now here we go again, another bad video Whoa, wait a minute.
Because he just activated the hotspot and he wants to throw down a monster dunk.
A fun game? What? To be honest, I was heading into this video to fully expect to shit on everything except the last game. But to be completely fair, this is a fun game. The game isn't ugly, it's animated well, some fun courts to play on, and NBA legends, and these crazy teams too.
It's on. Oh my!
You have a right to bear dunks. That's in the Bill of Rights. The game gets the simplistic yet fun aspect of NBA Jam. They take some liberties from NBA Street, like this meter you could build up. It builds up by doing tricks or achieving certain goals throughout the game, like perform 10 dunks or hit 5 threes. Once it's filled, you can activate this hotspot, which is a crazy dunk that's worth 3 points. But each time you earn a hotspot, the points you earn from it increase. So this thing could be a real swing if you feel like you're out of the game. You can even push your opponent after you win a game. The game has this Legends mode where you have to play against different decades of legends with accurate presentation. The original NBA Jam announcer, Tim Kitzrow, is back and even adjusts to whatever era you're playing in.
Welcome everybody to the pre-70s era of the NBA Jam Legends Tournament.
There's even a bunch of cheats, though I wish there was a menu where you could just activate them, instead of just trying to memorize all the codes to enter them in a short amount of time before the game starts. This version of NBA Jam is solid, yet nobody ever brings it up or talks about it in general. I think the issue is, while it's solid, it doesn't really have much depth to it, or a ton that's new, but the bigger picture that affected this game was the fact that NBA Street by EA is better in every conceivable way. And NBA Ballers, a game that was made by Midway, was also better in every conceivable way, and it was coming out shortly thereafter. So that makes this game kinda a moot point and overshadowed. But hey, any game where you can play basketball as a mini vampire and do a YMCA dunk can't be bad. I'm sure that's some kind of law.
The hotspot has just been activated, and he just blasted off, folks. Are you kidding me? What a dunk!
After the 2003 version of NBA Jam would come out, Acclaim would go bankrupt shortly thereafter, mostly because they made games like this.
What is that?
And that would be it for the era of NBA Jam from Acclaim. It was anything but nicely received, and we got one good game out of it. The original creator of NBA Jam, Midway, also went bankrupt too. This put the NBA Jam IP in a weird spot, and the series was pretty much dead, until 7 years later where the IP was picked up by our good friends at EA. I feel like it's impossible to make a video without these guys coming up at least once. Now, they initially announced this game for the Wii, but later on there were 360 and PS3 versions that were announced as well. And get this, EA would bundle NBA Jam for free with the purchase of NBA Elite 11. NBA Elite 11 is a whole nother big ass can of worms that not even any of the Rugrats would attempt to touch. But to sum it up succinctly, NBA Elite 11 was an attempt by EA to reboot the NBA Live games because the NBA 2K games were taking over the whole basketball video game market. How many times have I said NBA in like the last 30 seconds? Or how many times have I said NBA in this whole fucking video? But there was a problem with that plan. NBA Elite 11 was so bad it looked like it was a game from Acclaim. So NBA Elite was cancelled, and NBA Jam would get a standalone release along with an upgraded On Fire edition a year later. Now this is, without a doubt, the best game in this video.
Stickman Blue. Oh, he got all of that one as he boots it home for two.
The attention to detail, the game modes, and the teams. Listen, if I'm sure we decided every presidential candidacy on a basketball game, then I'm pretty sure everyone in this country would be a little bit happier.
Bush. Serves up the facial.
And y'all know George Bush wasn't moving like this. We got footage to prove it. The game has this art style with these photo cutouts of players' heads, and I hated this as a kid, but now I kinda like it. It makes the game stand out, and everyone is like this, from the players to the coaches to the mascots on the sideline. It reminds me of this one super obscure Nickelodeon cartoon from years ago. Did anyone watch this too? The fast-paced gameplay is maintained here, and it's pretty much perfected. There's some things to do to vary things up. You have game modes which turn the 2D NBA Jam into more of a 3D one, and it works. You have 21, or this mode where you have to take control of zones on the court, and you have this one mode where you have health bars. The goal is to break the backboard with each basket doing damage, and with dunks doing the most damage.
The backboard is shattered!
You have your classic arcade playthrough, but you also have this remix tour. You faced each team in the league 3 times. The bronze medal is mostly just a regular match. The silver is most of the time some type of spin-off. And the gold, most of the time, is boss battles. Now these boss battles, along with this whole game, to be honest with you, is absolutely ball-breakingly difficult. The boss battle is some type of one-on-one, but the thing is that they have some type of special effect on the game that is just outright cheating at times. Like Dr. J taking every zone with one singular dunk. Or check this out. Look what Larry Bird does when he gets on fire.
Larry Legend. Shot clock. Booyah! And he hits the three. You lose.
This is #1 bullshit.
Overall, EA's NBA Jam is a good game, which is surprising for many reasons. But for me, it's surprising because EA would actually try to revive NFL Blitz, but that game wasn't anywhere near as good as this one. After this, NBA Jam would be non-existent. We got nothing, even to this very day. There have been reports of getting a new one, including this one report from 2018 where Tim Kitzrow was talking with Microsoft, but nothing has materialized. No matter the case, NBA Jam was kind of strange if you think about it. A hit arcade game franchise that was split off into two different publishers, and both publishers died, all while having zero memorable NBA Jam games with the exception of the first and last one, which was done by EA of all people. And that was supposed to be a pack-in title. Whatever the case, we all know at the end of the day, it can never get any worse than this.
I'll bet he didn't see that coming. Nicely received.
Ain't no crowd like a basketball.